Hello, my name is Zachary Loeb, currently in Caen, France.
My name is Janet. We're in Paris right now. We are on a study abroad.
I'm Noah,
Jacob.
and we are in Paris, France. Well, I'm from Lake Mary, Florida.
Yeah, I'm from Land O'Lakes, like 30 minutes north of the Tampa campus, and came on this trip just for the experience to go abroad. So I'm very heavily interested in.
My name is Luis Atzik. We are in Paris right now, and we're here as part of a study abroad program with the USF, with USF from Tampa.
So my name is Courtney. I am an MBA student. I'm about to graduate in next semester, and we are currently in Paris, France, on study abroad with USF for supply chain management.
My name's Austin Balin. For work, I do public accounting, specifically auditing. Right now, we're in Paris.
My name's Kadeem. I'm from Tampa Bay, Florida. My undergrad was a major in international studies with a minor in linguistics. And for my master's, I'm currently doing an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, with a focus in international business. And I am here in Paris, France, studying supply chain management.
And so why are you here? Why not just do this back in the States? What's the difference of studying here?
I definitely want to step outside of the US to get to meet somewhere else in Europe and get that perspective.
You get to travel. You get to go to France. Why not?
Yeah, abroad is all about, it's less about, textbook and material, and it's more about the in-person experience and relating it, to how things work out in the field, on the job.
We are studying supply chain management, and we're taking tours of all the historical sites and businesses, global elective for the MBA, and it makes us have a wider view of businesses all around the world, and we're learning how different countries do things their own way.
So a lot of my time has been here in the city, just with the past couple of days on study abroad. First, which we did a week there, saw all the monuments, saw different memorials, had the full French experience.
So we started our trip in Paris, but then we made our way to Caen, Normandy, in the Normandy region, and we spent about 7-8 days over there. We hung out with the locals. We went to the school, Normandy School of Business. We made several trips out to the coast, the D-Day, Normandy, the landing beaches. We went to Mont Saint-Michel, which is a UNESCO protected site, so that was pretty amazing. We got to know a lot of the story from the town and how it related to 1,000 years of history of wars and historical events that made that city, the front and center. So it's been an amazing learning all of the history.
Like when I was at USF, we never really did field trip or anything, but we are actually going to factories and the warehouses and just buildings, looking inside what they do, and companies and city hall, and it's learning firsthand experience.
You can't get the same experience at home. You need to go on the ground where other people, different culture, they think differently, they approach issues differently, and they have a different mindset. How do you just handle an issue? And unless you come to that country and you meet these people and you walk through those steps, you just aren't going to get the same experience. You're not going to be as an intellectually diverse person. So it just really goes to show how important it is to expand your horizons, literally, and come on the ground to learn how other people think.
I live in Jacksonville, but I did my undergrad in Tampa at USF. My undergrad was in marketing, and I'm studying for the online MBA right now.
Right now I'm an entrepreneurship major, and this is just kind of an example of networking, I think, and getting to meet new people and get experience abroad.
Yeah, for me, I'm a finance major with an accounting minor, so this whole trip just about seeing the workforce and how I could fit in, and we've been given a lot of good information, about how to apply for work here and the requirements for everything, so this trip's been very helpful for that.
I'm a chemical engineer. I work for a diesel engine company. I've been doing it for about 7 years, and I'm doing the MBA as part of my attempt to pivot into the business and strategic side of engineering.
So for work, I'm in the healthcare industry. I work at a major hospital in Tampa. And so supply chain management was really interesting to me to kind of figure out how we get our supplies, what the process is, and really the strategy behind how we can keep our hospital operating with the supplies that we have. Paris life.
I want to own and manage my own business, so supply chain is an essential part of that. So it works.
Yeah, for me, I'm about the finance guy. So supply chain all falls under operations, on the income statement or whatever, how you can see it. But so getting that more in depth of, a part of something I work with all the time, like it's cool to see.
For school, I'm getting my MBA, but I'm getting my focus in risk compliance and anti-money laundering. This trip kind of worked out last minute. I always wanted to study abroad through undergrad, never had the opportunity, didn't have the funds available, but this trip offered me a shorter period. It was like about 2 weeks. And honestly, the cost of it was doable. With working and being able to save up a little bit of money, it just made it possible. And I'm like, okay, Paris, going to Europe. I love Europe. This is an opportunity. Let's make it happen.
I started my educational career at a community college when I was 22, and since that moment I've been hearing of students doing travel, study abroad experiences. I've always wanted to do it. Unfortunately, my life circumstances never allowed me to. Fast forward to 37 years old, I'm now in a much better circumstance and situation in my life, and I'm doing this MBA program at USF, and I found out they have this opportunity for 9 to 10 days to do a travel, study abroad experience, and I jumped at the chance. So it was part of my bucket list throughout my life, so I finally got to cross it.
Just motivated me of like, I need to do it now because I graduate next semester, and this is like kind of like my graduation present to myself of to have experience and satisfy a credit and travel and do what I want to do and get experience for it, and I can talk about it.
I have 2 kids, a husband, and a full-time job, and it was a little difficult to leave, but in the grand scheme of everything, I think that it's really important to remember that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and studying abroad is something that I can also teach my children. I can show them that I'm going to school. I can show them that I'm furthering my education, and show them that doing something like this and studying abroad is possible. I was nervous a little bit to travel by myself. So I've only traveled abroad once in my life, and I did that with my husband. And so I was a little nervous traveling by myself, but the way that USF had everything set up, the professor's flight was given to us. We had groups of people. We were going in groups everywhere. It's a very secure situation, very secure environment.
One thing I was scared of, but the culture shock was weird the first time around out of country.
Yeah, for me, it's just, what you're used to, getting out of your comfort zone. But I mean, I enjoy doing that, but there's always the nervous risk of it, but it's been really great here.
I don't think there's anything that I was afraid of leaving behind in the States. I know I have a very comfortable life. I'm afraid that I never get to travel again now that I'm traveling back to the States. I love traveling. I love experiencing new cultures and new perspective. And if there's a fear that I have is not being able to do something like this.
I wasn't afraid of leaving my family behind, though there is always that fear of missing out on whatever's going to happen there. You just weren't there when it happens. But at the same time, this allows me to experience other things that others aren't going to experience away from home.
This was my first time traveling alone, so I was a little nervous about that. I'm going to a culture where we don't speak the same language. It's a different culture than I'm used to in different countries that I had experienced. But so just traveling my first time, I had a little nerves about this. But honestly, I think this program is great for first-time travelers, especially traveling on your own, because you're with a group. They set up a plan for you, but also give you the free time to go out and explore and experience things yourself.
The language barrier wasn't a problem as much as I thought it would be. So I took 2 years of French way back in high school, and even with the people that we have, some speak French, some don't speak French. I think it's very doable. Our partners at EM Normandy are wonderful with helping guide us through the city, help us guide us in situations that we may need a translator, but the French people here are wonderful and they've been really welcoming.
Pretty much everyone speaks English everywhere you go. It's very easy to just kind of point at a menu dish too, or kind of like try to say it. So I would say really no, the language barrier is not bad at all.
Good. I mean, the locals in Colin were really nice.
Yeah, every person you meet in like a common area or somewhere around what we're doing, everybody's been very friendly and nice and very inviting to do.
People have been very nice, especially in Caen. It was a small college town, and people were very willing to just talk to people, from far away. Especially, I've learned that when they hear my American accent, people are automatically like, where are you from? Let's talk, let's hang out. What are you doing here? And it's been like a very amazing time. This has been one of my favorite study abroads for the fact that I've made so many amazing friends in all of France, but in Caen especially. I would love to go back there just because it's so nice.
What were some kind of difficulties you had trying to get here?
Biggest thing was counselors, because this class is an elective, or it counts as one, or also a high impact class. I think one of the two. But they weren't willing to work with me. But you can take it, so take this class.
Yeah, for me, The expense was relatively less for this compared to some of the others, so that was a good reason for this particular trip. And just the timing of it is also a little bit shorter, which is nice for, for my schedule and probably for some other people's schedules. So.
It's absolutely worth it. There's all kinds of different scholarships online and different opportunities to fund it.
I didn't think it was that expensive. If you're young, maybe you can look at the price ticket and maybe be a little frightened, but if you price for it, I thought it was just very cheap for everything that we got to experience. So
even if you don't have too much funds, there's plenty of scholarships. I've won a good amount of scholarships, but even just the Gilman Scholarship alone, I was able to get $4,000 for that. And that allowed me to travel to Brazil twice in 1 year. And then actually I did a trip to Mexico as well that same year. But that's going to be a whole nother story.
Is there anything that you really appreciated from coming here?
There's so many, it's hard to say, but there's definitely a lot of attitudes about how to tackle an issue. How do we solve this problem? In the United States, we get really caught up in stuff sometimes. We overthink stuff a lot, and in the culture here, what we've seen is that, just take a step back, collaborate, relax, talk about it over lunch.
Last semester, I took 2 classes that cost me $5,000. This semester, like the summer semester, it was like $3,000 for 1 class, but I got to go to France out of it. I like looking at all the historical sites. I really like castles, so being able to look at just very old buildings made me very happy, and just learning about like the logistics of how the technology they had at the time and just how they had to plan everything out. It's just really fascinating how they did everything.
One of the main things I've learned from studying abroad is just the experience you get is just not one you can get back in the States, especially because it's like you can go to a class with some people, you see them, and then you take a few tests and then you don't really see them anymore. But here you get immersed with the class and you get immersed within the country. And so you get to bond with these people a lot more, you get to collaborate with them a lot more, you end up kind of depending on them and growing with them. And even whether it's just a week, 2 weeks, up to 3 months of a study abroad. It's like the bonds you make with these people is just different than you can ever make in a classroom. And just reading things from a book or being told this, that, this, and that is very different than going into it, getting hands-on experience.
Immersing myself in a new culture and getting to know the locals and getting to know the people. All the new sites that we've visited and the historical sites have been amazing.
Viewing or seeing here?
Yeah, so we spent most of our trip in Cologne, which was an amazing experience. I actually prefer Cologne a little bit over Paris. Paris is amazing. Comparative to the US, Paris is more similar to, let's say, New York. You have a lot more hustle and bustle, just they speak the French language and they have French culture.
The attitudes, the way people interact, the friendliness, and you also get a feeling of being the outsider. That is a lot of people that we interact with every day back home feel all the time. And then to come outside and be that outsider, and now you go back and you think, well, how can I, in my interactions with my friends or people I work with, who maybe how they feel like they're an outsider, how can I make them feel more included? How can I, find something interesting about their culture that they want to, bring together with ours? So overall, just so much sticks out, and the love of history and the love of where you live is just so beautiful.
For the age of 22 or older students, what would you tell them?
The only advice is to go for it. You have to experience it.
Just go study abroad, go get experience, because like classroom knowledge can only take you so far.
I would say you absolutely need to do it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
This is a great experience just to get you to go and study abroad.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely. If you have the opportunity, you're gonna regret not doing it one day. So definitely do it.
Yeah.
Have help, please do it.
I'm doing this study abroad for many reasons. This is actually not my first time studying abroad or my second. This is actually my 9th study abroad. It is fair to say that I more majored in studying abroad, studying different cultures, languages, and traveling. But so I'm currently here. I believe that this will help my future because it will give me the experience to actually start a career in supply chain management and to just be able to say that, I am familiar with different cultures. I currently speak, let's say, 3 languages confidently. I speak English for sure. Spanish is my second language. I've been speaking it since I was 21. I'm currently 32. And French I started learning when I was about 23, and I speak that. Then Portuguese, yeah, I like languages, and I like traveling. In my first study abroad, the thing that really stuck out to me was when I went to, just as a side project, we volunteered at a homeless shelter to make sure that they had food in Spain. And I was learning Spanish at the time, and even my little bit of Spanish, I was able to speak with these locals and realize just how much we had in common, how much the 2008 crisis affected us all, and just how human we all are. Whether we may speak a slightly different language, eat some slightly different foods, it's all the same to the farthest extent. And that's something that I found to be the most beautiful, along with the fact of getting outside of your comfort zone, getting to see other people, life in different contexts, just kind of shows you that things do not have to be one way. There are many ways most things can be. And it's just, what you allow yourself to fall into. And so this is something that's kind of stuck with me and has inspired me to do my best to inspire other students to study abroad. And this is one reason why I'm making these videos. But yes, I would say for anyone thinking about study abroad, absolutely do it. There are scholarships. You can sometimes, you may just want to button down and not go out, save up some money so you can go out in a different country so you can experience something different. Or just to learn, kind of, to be cliche, kind of find yourself and learn things that you do like, don't like, and things you never thought you would like. And I hope you have enjoyed this, but for now, avión todo, hasta luego, ate luego, see ya.